on Southern Idaho's rock station, 103.1 The Edge. It's Broc Hard Mornings. Hi. Hey, happy Friday. You know what Friday means? The weekend is right around the corner. Yay! And the weekend doesn't mean a lot to some of us. In fact, I got a bunch of work stuff that I got to do tomorrow, and then I got a bunch of work stuff that I have to do on Sunday. But the important part is that my son doesn't have to get up tomorrow morning for school, so he and I will inevitably end up staying up way too late, crushing Fortnite tonight. And we'll be on like our fifth victory royale where we win. We're like, should we go to bed? We're both going to be like, no, let's just keep going. And so we're going to keep going. And then it's like 5 a.m. and we're like, oh, we have things to do. We should go to bed. Then we'll both wake up tomorrow morning, tired, cranky, but knowing that we absolutely crushed it on Fortnite. God damn it. You know who else crushed it this week? How's that for a segue? Had a chance on Tuesday night to go up and finally catch Set It Off live in concert, and had a chance to meet the guys. In fact, it was so cool because not only was it Zach, their guitar player, who originally reached out and he said, hey man, we know you're playing our stuff. If you want to come up and say hi, that would be cool. But then their tour manager, Riley, who I absolutely have to give props to because he called me on Tuesday morning and he's like, just want to make sure you guys are coming up, want to make sure you're taken care of with credentials and stuff like that. Because a lot of times in, Twin Falls matters to us, of course. And we report to the charts, but not in the capacity that like Chicago reports to the charts. And so a lot of times, the artists and the labels and the tour managers are like, oh yeah, it's a pea shooter, let's just ignore him. But no, Riley made sure we were taken care of from start to finish. And then when we had a chance to hang out with Set It Off, they were so grateful and so cool. And what I love about this band is that, they've done the label thing. They've signed to labels. They were on a label until not too long ago. I think it was 2023 when they first said, you know what? We can do this on our own. Now, much like our friends in Adelita's Way, they're absolutely crushing it on their own. So first, Cody, frontman of the group, you guys are now doing things, very much DIY, but you've been at it since 2008, and that's kind of where all of this began.
Thank you so much, dude. It's been a process. Just like I said before, when we started, we were playing to 0 people at first, but it didn't matter because this is what we love more than anything. So to see the fruits of our labor come together over these years is just, what more could you ask for? You know what I mean?
And a lot of people don't know how long you guys have been at it, but when I went to the interwebs, they said 2008. You guys have been doing this for well over a decade.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but it's been really fun. We started in 2008, but Cody and I met in 2006.
Yeah.
And we were playing in local bands together, and then we met at a Denny's one time, and then we quoted Family Guy and Robot Chicken episodes.
For how long?
Yeah, for 3 hours. And then we immediately became best friends, and then we started the band right as soon as he got out of college. So it's been a long journey, but it's been really, really fun.
Mm-hmm. You guys have been through the label thing. Some labels are great, some labels aren't so great, and now you're independent. And it seems like you guys are almost achieving more now than you were when you were signed to a big label deal.
It feels that way as well. When it all started, our hands were on the wheel, and we were used to that feeling, just having control, knowing what's happening. But more importantly, the level of accountability. If something goes wrong when you're with a label, you ask a question to the label, and we're like, what happened? And they're like, well, it's this thing, and this red tape, and this and that, and you never can get to the bottom of the source of the issue, so you can then prevent it from happening in the future. It feels difficult to do that. There are great things, there's bad things, with anything. But what we wanted to do after that last contract ended was, do we want to do this again, see how it goes, or do we want to just point the finger at ourselves if something goes wrong? And we chose that route. So this way, if there's a problem, we know exactly what happened. We know exactly how to fix it. And it's been a more streamlined path, I feel like, to accomplishing what we want to accomplish.
You skip the middleman.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, we are the middleman, we are everything, and our team is right here, easy to contact, to text away. It's perfect.
Max, you guys have been at this for so long, and the one thing that I love is that your fan base just keeps growing and growing and growing online. I've talked to a lot of artists who started well before the digital world, before YouTube, before Spotify, and they have almost a hard time with getting their message across. fast because it's different now. But you guys started in 2008, and that's kind of where the digital boom started. What would you say to an artist who's trying to get started today in getting that message across? Obviously, the songs have a message, they have a meaning. What would you say to them?
Especially on social media, everything is constantly changing. So if you're trying to just do what's viral, and this has worked for some people, right? So this is not a catch-all for everyone, but if you're just, hey, look, this person did this trend, let's do this trend and hope that it gets attention. It might work, but I feel like you end up selling out your own brand yourself in order to try and get people to look at you. I think that no matter what the social media format, no matter how much changes, I think as long as you are genuine to yourself and your message is something that people can relate to, I think that's enough to get it across. And obviously, the song has to be good, but I think that's it. I think people get really bogged down in, we need to make sure that everything works with this algorithm and that, and those things are important, but if the message isn't genuine, then no one's going to want to listen. And
your message is, and Cody, like with the songs that you write, obviously they come from the heart. Yeah. And I've talked to guys like Scott Stapp, for example, from Creed.
Oh, hell yeah.
And a great dude who started before the digital world, and it's almost like he has to reinvent himself to get that message across.
Yeah.
Is it easier, do you think, now to do what you're doing, or is it harder?
I'd say maybe we're in a special case because we've had the years of experience and we have like a foundation and people that follow us now, to where you don't feel like, I think it's easy, like Max was saying, to get caught up when you're getting started. Like, you'll do anything to just get that notice, that like, can I catch that wave? But I think what we've always tried to do as a band, and what we'll continue to always do, is the songs will always be about personal experiences. What we say on stage will always be about how we feel, and we keep doing it because we love it. And we don't want there to be some sort of veil. There should be no separation. We started as fans. Like, we would get excited. We went to Warped Tour together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we would go to shows and watch our favorite bands play and try to get that moment of like connection, eye contact. Like, we never lose sight of that. And I think that's what helps us connect so much to the people that come to see us play live, is that we are those same people, but now it's just, we're on an elevated surface, and that's it. It's fun. We get to do what we love. So I guess, in a roundabout way to answer your question, it's not harder or easier. It just feels somehow weirdly the same as how we've been doing it, but it's just finally clicking, it feels like.
You brought up Warped Tour, and so I have to bring up the pee pants excited moment where Kevin Lyman said, hey, yeah, we're going to do something. We don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But holy man, that's
wild.
I mean, what do you think we expect?
God, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to do a select few dates or do a whole tour. We did like one of the last ones with them, but they were always great to us. But I wish them the best of luck. I hope it goes really, really well.
Max, you guys played when we were young, and I know Kevin Lyman had something to do with that. Nobody quite understands what he had to do with that, but obviously, in the world of pop punk, he was involved. Live Nation was involved, and there's no doubt that show, like for kids like me who grew up going to Warped Tour, I mean that was our history. It was like you had an opportunity to be 16 again. What was that like, playing with not only your heroes from back in the day, but some of the new pop punk icons that are coming up?
Man, it felt like a season finale of a show. I mean, a lot of these artists, Green Day, Blink-182, these were the first concerts we ever went to. These are the artists that made us decide to do this. So to go to a festival where, Blink-182, Green Day is there. I saw Tony Hawk. I mean, like everyone you could imagine. Not just
he came out with Goldfinger, right?
What's that? Oh yeah. But I also just saw him walking around, hanging out. Yeah. It's all of these icons from our time, and getting to see them all in the same place. The entire day I was walking around going, this can't be real. Yeah. This isn't real. And then obviously, anytime we get a chance to play at a festival like that, I mean, up until a couple years ago, we didn't get invited to play festivals. And so to play anything is fantastic, and to play something of that magnitude, surreal is the only way that I can describe it. It was incredible.
Zach, we were talking about this before we turned the microphone on, but I have to give props to John London, who so far as producers are concerned, this guy, as far as where I came from in the world of pop punk, this guy is paving the way. And you guys have had some great opportunities to not only collaborate with him, but he's produced some of your stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's been really exciting to work with him. Cody and him have been good friends for a while now, and we actually toured with their band back in the day, Point North, and I think that's where the relationship really came from. I think Cody can speak on it a lot more because he's
it was kind of funny actually. Like when that tour started, we weirdly we knew we didn't talk much. I saw he was good. We had one day we played it in Nashville, and that show was connected to a Topgolf, and he's a big golfer. So I thought I was okay at hitting the ball, and then he came in. I was like, okay, well this guy's just smoking me right now. And then we did one session over the pandemic, leading into what was going to be our album Elsewhere, and it was me, him, and Grandson just digitally through Zoom. And it was a great song, and I loved the song, but it was too heavy for what that album was becoming, so it just didn't work out. And then when we became independent, we knew the direction we wanted to go, and I was like, you know what, I really had a great time with that guy on Zoom, which is tough on Zoom. So we were like, let's just go in and see what happens. Went in, Punching Bag was the first song we wrote.
Holy that worked out quite well for you.
For real. Like, our chemistry is strong. Because we're just having fun. And we don't care. There was no plan for radio. We're like, let's just go in. And the thing I would always say is let's re-inject the energy and the rock and just all of the fun back into Set It Off. And no rules. Throw the rule book out the window. Let's just do what we want. And because of that environment of just letting go, writing about how you're feeling, what's frustrating you, but just what's the most fun way to put that together, it's just been lights out so far, man. Like, we're just having a blast.
So what's next for Set It Off?
A lot. We have an announcement coming up shortly, which I wish I could tell you more, but if you're on our social medias, who am I? Or if you follow us on social media at Set It Off on Instagram, we'll be posting on there and TikTok and all that. But that's one thing. We have, we're going home on November 3rd, and then we leave November 14th because we're going to go do our first ever headliner in Australia. Just found out, announced yesterday that Sydney in Australia is sold out. Actually, there's 2 sold out dates, and then the rest are low tickets, which is mind-blowing. Australia, it's like across the freaking globe. And then we're going out in end of January with Point North, going back out then to do UK, Europe, and we added a second London date because that's sold out. Just things are coming together, and we get to do it with people we love. So a lot of touring, but more songs on the way too, and that we are so anxious to put out because we think there's some songs in that deck that we think are gonna blow the ones you've already heard out of the water.
Well, and you get to do it independently.
Yes. Which is great.
It's so important for bands to kick ass like you guys are doing right now, and I'm always happy to hear stories like this where you guys are out there, you're on the road, you're doing well, and you don't have to answer the corporate fist.
Yes, absolutely. No ring kissing.
Right. And so obviously this interview will air after the show tonight, but for me and for my buddy Josh, what can we expect from the show tonight?
Every drop of sweat that is within us will be on the stage, and we always give our all. And I know that sounds like such an easy thing to say, but wait till you see it, and I promise you that's exactly what you're going to get. We pride ourselves in making sure that you will go home with a story to tell in full excitement.
Dude, cannot wait. Yeah. Cody, Max, Zach, thank you guys so much, and I cannot wait to hear what's next from Set It Off.
Hell yeah, we're very excited, and thanks again for coming out to the show.
And speaking of what's coming next from Set It Off, I might get in trouble for playing this, but I don't care. Damn it, that's how we are. Just in time for Halloween, this is the brand new single from Set It Off. It's called Creating Monsters. Love these guys, and you should too. Find them on your socials, find them on the interwebs. It's the first time you're hearing Set It Off, Creating Monsters on the Edge.